Alrighty, I think we can get started. Hi, everybody. My name is Valerie Schotz. I joined BlocPower 3 years ago as a finance and special initiatives associate. You may have seen me before responding to some questions on these calls. I'm introducing our new head of finance, Hanan Levin.
Thanks, Val. Appreciate being here, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to introduce BlocPower or answer any questions you might have about BlocPower. I've been with BlocPower for almost a year now, so excited to continue and work with our team to support our mission to decarbonize building and create real impact on communities. So our goal here is really to create real impact in climate change, and BlocPower is doing it through upgrading building and retrofitting building, getting them ready for the energy transition, supporting the communities that are usually overlooked when this is being done by providing multiple aspects of the needed implementation part of this energy transition. Go to the next slide. There's about 5 million buildings in the US that are aging and are ready for an upgrade to make them not just greener for the environment, better for the environment, really better for the communities that live in them, and really creating health impact and immediate health impact for the people who live there and for the environment that they serve there. Next slide. Part of the aspects that BlocPower operates in is in developing the workforce as well. So besides financing, project management, construction, and our tech solution, BlocPower also participates in developing workforce for the green and clean energy environment, really incorporating the communities that we work with in every aspect of the energy transition through impacting the buildings and creating jobs and training for the workforce. Next. All of that being said, there's also a very large financial opportunity here. We can create real impact by lowering greenhouse gas emissions and increasing energy efficiency and lowering costs for energy in the market. And really, there's a significant amount of upgrades that are available, especially with all the incentives that are coming down, and just the opportunities that are available in the market to capture from an energy transition perspective. To do that, though, if you ever tried to do any work on your house, you share this pain point with a lot of people in the US. It is very difficult to access and upgrade and create a path for a cleaner, greener building and community between the planning, construction, general contractors, financing, and the incentive market. It really is, there's a lot of complexity that is involved and makes it easier to not do anything because of that complexity that is in the market. And that's really where BlocPower comes in to create value. Next slide. So what does BlocPower does? We collate and create a streamlined solution for the building owners to allow them to upgrade and create a greener building and a cleaner environment. Anywhere from the initial energy audit that happens through our technological software block maps to the next stage of planning and engineering, general contracting, equipment purchasing, financing through our partners, capital partners, the broadband access, and the also the very large part of it is making sure that the incentives are paid and making sure all incentives are paid. Currently in the market, we're seeing a lot of stackability of incentives, which means on the local level, utility level, and municipal level, we're seeing incentives that can come together to create a real significant impact on this green movement in buildings. So being able to capture this whole process in one-stop shop, which is BlocPower, creates a solution, very much needed solution in the market for building owners and for communities to be able to upgrade and to be able to clean their energy usage through our program. And I think the kind of the additional major aspect that the BlocPower brings in is accessible financing. We have significant financial solutions that are targeted toward the LMI communities, long-term financing with market rate rates that provide real great opportunity for these upgrades to actually pencil out and make sure that they're efficiently executed against all these planning stages and against the incentive in the market. So that's kind of in short what we do. We focus nationwide on all these projects. We are currently have projects in multiple cities with multiple type of building owners and different type of communities. And our goal is really to be a wide access provider for most people looking to green their buildings, and most communities that are looking and deserve to participate in this movement that is happening to create a healthier living space. I think I'll pass it to Val.
Alrighty, so I'll just quickly walk us through the terms of this investment, and then we can turn it over to Q&A. Okay, so this year we'll be offering a 10% interest rate. Our minimum investment is a bit lower than usual. It's $5. And our term is shorter as well. We will be doing 5 years this year. And you can find more details at the Climatize website, who will be running this crowdfunding investment through. These are some of our previous investors who you'll be joining in this process. Thank you so much. Feel free to add your questions to the Q&A box. And if we can't get to your question today, please leave your information and we'll reach out to you via email. Alrighty, Hanan, we have our first question from Dev. How does financing work for homeowners? Are there any upfront costs?
Dev, usually, no, we are able to provide a zero down aspect of our lease payment, and we're able to work with the homeowners to provide a financing solution that works for them if they don't have a down payment, and really work through what those payments might be ongoing.
Thank you. A second question we have is, I have invested in previous rounds. Can you give examples of projects that have been done with that money?
Yeah, I think we have, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but I know that we have a house of worship, I think in New York, that we have upgraded their HVAC system to be able to have services in the summer, which was a big issue for them. because it got really hot, as you guys, people living in New York know, it gets very, very hot there. They didn't have, their HVAC wasn't working. So we were able to upgrade their HVAC, put a new heat pump there. Um, and now they're able to not only have their services there, but also to provide other opportunities for the community to use it as a rec center and to use it for events, which increases the ability for the house of worship to generate funds, generate revenue, and operate and continue to operate in a better way. So I'm really excited about that. And once we're off the call, we're definitely happy to give you the name of that house of worship.
I'll just add quickly, we also have a couple update emails that will be coming out with a little more details on past projects and case studies. Thank you.
What location do we service? We service all locations in the country right now. And yeah, we're currently we're in California. We have projects in Chicago, Massachusetts, New York, Denver. I think we're looking at a few in El Paso, Texas. Yeah, we're location agnostic.
The next question is from Jesse. Given various options for raising capital, why does BlocPower turn to crowdfunding, and how does this fit into your overall capital raising?
Yeah, so crowdfunding is a great source for us to allow communities to participate directly in the community impact, right? When you think about it, we currently have a facility with Goldman Sachs and Microsoft that we're using, and then we're developing some more additional large facilities with additional Wall Street banks. Um, that's great. And obviously that allows us to grow and create real impact on our communities. But we've always done crowdfunding rounds in order to allow individuals and community members to participate in the idea that your money has a real direct impact on people. We use crowdfunding for projects that might not fit neatly into our current facilities, or that might need some support from our current facilities in different communities as add-ons, or just projects that the structure that we're able to create through the crowdfunding works better for them. It's a great way to democratize the ability to create impact in communities, and we're big believers in that, as really that's in the core mission of our company.
Thanks, Hanan. Another question is the 10% return guaranteed, or is it a target sum?
I've been in the financial industry for 20 years. No return is guaranteed. We don't have a guaranteed return. That is the loan payment. It is not a target return. So the crowdfunding is currently built as a debt instrument, which means that as long as BlocPower is in business and we have those projects ongoing, you will be receiving a 10% payment for 5 years. So it's structured as that and not as a targeted return equity investment. So from that perspective, the payments are locked. Let's put it that way, because guaranteed is a word that we can't really use in the investment area.
Alrighty, thanks, Hanan. Our next question is from Paul. Are the offerings specific to areas such as Philadelphia? this is from an individual group who are interested in impact investing through their faith group?
So we don't have specific offerings. That being said, if you have specific projects that you'd like us to take a look at, we'd love to take a look at the projects. And we'd love to incorporate that into our analysis of those projects and try to allocate funds toward it. Philadelphia has been come up a lot in our deal, and we actually are working with the city with a few potential projects as well. So happy to, depending on the amounts that are available through the investment, allocate some of them. We can't guarantee specifically, but we can definitely work on projects and review them as well. Who gets, I see the question. So who gets the benefit of the tax credit, or is that passed on to financing partner like Goldman? The end client gets the benefit from the tax credit, 100%. We incorporate the tax credit into our financing. And we are doing that. So let me take a step back. The purpose of BlocPower's financing is to be a conduit that allows us to deploy capital into communities that have had a hard time accessing capital for these types of situations. There are tax credits in the market that are built toward the LMI community. However, the LMI community has a hard time getting zero down or low down payment long-term financing because of our current structure of our financial system. BlocPower's mission is to change that. So what we do is actually incorporate the tax credit into our lease payment and use them as a mechanism to lower the cost of the project, and then we aggregate that and incorporate that into the cost to the end client, and providing them the true benefit of the tax credits. Amelia, how many of these offerings have been fully paid off? I think we have not had any that matured yet, Amelia. We have had several rounds of crowdfunding. They used the earlier ones are 7 years. This is going to be the shortest one for 5 years, but none of them matured. So none of them have been fully paid off just because they haven't reached their term yet. I see from Jesse, earlier this year, closed another smaller raise to Climatize, 8% of a 7 year. Now this is one being offered 10% for 5 years. The change in terms is really, we saw the we saw the big demand that happened to that 250,000, 8% over 7 years, and wanted to entice a larger amount to come in a fast way. We have a massive opportunity in front of us right now with the greenhouse gas emission funds, with the IRA incentives being deployed. So we really wanted to raise capital is with advantageous terms in a quick fashion. So we really wanted to see if the better terms would accelerate the raise and allow us to access more capital so we can deploy it in a competitive way. So really what we're trying to do is access more capital quicker. and that was the change in terms. There's not much as far as the use of capital. There's not much difference between those two raises. What we're trying to do is raise. We have so many projects in our pipeline. We'd love to deploy as much cash as possible, as quickly as possible, to create real impact now. Any other questions? If not, like Val said, feel free to email us and um, um, I'm not sure why the constraint happened to the constraint are uh, specific to the platform that we raise at. We'll have to take a look at Climatize. You can check with Climatize to see if the same thing was going to happen there as well.
I believe Climatize has a higher minimum investment.
Maximum, you mean?
Sorry, maximum investment.
Perfect. Thanks, Val. How much on average a homeowner is able to get back through credits and rebates of total cost? I'm going to give the answer that I dislike the most, but it very much depends. And I'll give you an answer why it depends. For example, it really depends on the local programs. In Ithaca, for example, we're seeing rebates as high as like 90%. The IRA is launching. If you're looking at the LMI community, and we're looking at heat pumps and maybe solar and battery, I'd say we probably looking at 30 to 40% on average. But like I said, as an example, it varies very much. If you look at EV charging, there are places where you can sometimes even get EV charger for free. But there's rebates and different type of incentives that lead up to sometimes 80, 70%. But if I had to give you a number, I'd probably say 30 to 40%. The email address for obtaining a copy of the discussed info. Val,
So your best bet would be to check us out on the Climatize website. I'm about to put a link in the chat. And then for specific BlocPower specific questions, you can email us at investment@blockpower.io. I'm also putting that in the chat.
Thank you. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, we really appreciate everybody that joined us today. Really appreciate everybody that's supporting our mission. We in the company, we're big believers in creating impact and change through actions and through real deployment of capital into real communities, and doing it now. So we really appreciate the support and everybody's involvement here. So thank you.